It's the Indie Horror Junkie Podcast, your source for anything and everything indie horror. Here's your host, Otis B. Dreads.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Well, welcome back me, and hopefully some of you will be joining us as well today. Sorry about the last couple of shows that we had to cancel. We had back-to-back hurricanes here that did a lot of damage, knocked people out with power damage. What some people had, I had my sister had 3 to 4 feet of water inside her house, so it was a devastating situation. We had a lot of stuff that we had to recoup, so it took us a couple of weeks to kind of get everything in order, and now we're back. So I want to go ahead and let you guys know that we have a really nice show set up here for you today. We've got director Justin Armao with us, who's going to be directing a new movie called Blue Murder. The movie is going to be featured in our upcoming issue, which is going to be issue number, the new upcoming issue of the magazine, which is coming out November 13th. So definitely looking for that. That's got, as a matter of fact, let me show you the cover of the magazine because I'm pretty happy with it. I think that'll be nice. It's going to have Stream on the cover. There you go. So Stream's going to be on the cover. And we've got a couple of, we have Love Dogs, which was one of our last podcasts that we had on here. Killer Grannies, which is an upcoming one. Human Hibachi 3. And then a really cool film from over the pond or across the pond, however you want to say it, called Pinocchio Unleashed. So we'll be able to get into all that good stuff later. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time here, so let's go ahead and just do some minor housekeeping so you can kind of get you caught up on what's going on in the world of Indie Horror Junkie, and then I'll go ahead and bring on our guest, and we will chat all things Blue Murder. Okay, now, once again, like I said, the next issue is getting ready to go live and getting ready to ship on November 13th. The issue is available for pre-order, so if you want to pre-order it, you can go ahead and go to indiehorrorjunkie.com, go to the magazine section, and you can pre-order it. You can feel free to pre-order all the other issues as well, and then we'll get them out there to you as quickly as we can, but it will go live on the 13th. Now, just for some people that don't know how we do things when it comes to the magazine, we put a magazine out every other month, bi-monthly. The next normal magazines are supposed to go out in November, and then another one in January. But one of the kind of cool things that we do here with Indie Horror Junkie is if there's a month in between that has a Friday the 13th, because all hail Friday the 13th, right? We do a special Friday the 13th issue. Well, December, which is that month in between, has a Friday the 13th. So you will be getting back-to-back issues. There'll be issue number 12 on the 13th of November. Then there'll be issue number 13 on December 13th. And then there'll be issue number 14 coming out on January 14th. And then we'll skip February. And the next issue after that will be March until the next Friday the 13th and so on and so forth. So definitely be looking for back-to-back issues coming out starting next month. And I'm scrambling to get all that stuff in place to get ready to go out to you. But like I said, the next issue is available for pre-order. So feel free to go over to the indiehorrorjunkie.com website and pre-order it. Once again, we are back today with the podcast. We're going to be talking Blue Murder, but also to let you know that we have the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest, which is coming up in February, which is going to be held at MegaCon like we did last year. They get 250,000 plus there that weekend, so feel free to submit your films. The submissions are open. The deadline is actually the 31st, which is tomorrow, but then we have an extended deadline, which will be the end of November, and then we'll make the notifications as to who gets in and all that in December, and then the festival itself will be in February. So if you have a short film, if you have a feature-length film, anything indie horror that you think you want to get seen, submit it to us. Our panel of judges will take a look. We'll make our determination, and hopefully we'll be seeing you and screening your film for the masses over there at MegaCon. If you've never been to MegaCon, it is off the chain. It is a tremendous event. They do such a great job. The guests they have are unbelievable. And like I said, they get 250,000 people there that weekend. So it is a madhouse, but it is just something amazing, and you got to be a part of it. So hopefully if you have a film out there, submit it to us. We'll get you in, and we'll go from there. All right, that's about all I've got as far as housekeeping goes. Amy will be back with us hopefully next week, and hopefully Otis will be back with us soon as well. But in the meantime, you got me. So hopefully you're out there. We can do some chatting. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Justin. Normally we have a trailer to show, but I didn't receive any kind of trailer because I think actually Blue Murder is about to be filmed, so there's no actual trailer for it yet. But I do have some images and stuff, but let me bring him on first so I can bring those images and he can kind of give you the background on what's going on with them and where they're at and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let me bring in Justin. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Awesome.
One
How you
other thing I
doing?
did not mention to the audience here is that can't figure out what's going on here, but we do have a little bit of a delay. We've got it down to where it's only like 3 or 4 seconds. So if you see a little uncomfortableness in between us, it's not because that he dislikes me. It's because we have a delay. So we'll get to it. Okay. All right. So once again, this is Justin Armeo, and he is going to be the director for this upcoming film, Blue Murder. So why don't you give us a little background on yourself and then also how you came to be the director for this film and what we can expect. Did you?
Well, I live in Southern California. I've been into movies since I was a little kid.
You seem to have frozen and your audio is
You know,
dropping out on me. Up. Yeah, I think the issue's there on your end. If you want, I can drop you out and you can come back in.
From sorry, I got a pop up here.
Yeah, Justin, I mean, you were frozen and your audio is.
Oh.
All right, we're going to try to let Justin go and let him come back in because it's all cutting out now. Yeah, sorry about that, Justin. If you can still hear me, your image was frozen and your audio was cutting out. I couldn't make out anything you were saying. So if you can try and exit and come back in, as soon as I see you pop in, I'll go ahead and bring you back. Okay? All right. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming issue. Well, Justin, because his movie Blue Murder is actually going to be in this upcoming issue. I just did the story on it. They sent me a bunch of great pictures. I got them all set up in there and do a big piece on their film. We're very excited about it. And as a matter of fact, one of the, I believe he's the producer. He goes by the name Bloodsucker Jones. I've been chatting with him back and forth in email, and it sounded familiar to me. It's hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring Justin back here. You still there?
Hey there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not cutting out now, so we'll give that a shot. I was just telling everybody that I was communicating with somebody who goes by the name of Bloodsucker Jones on email. And it's funny because the name rang a bell to me. And when I started looking back in my files, I used to run a film festival called the Halloween Horror Picture Show. And back in 2017, there was a film that we showed there called Bloodsucker Jones. So I asked him if that was his, and he said that was. So what a small world. Yeah, that delay is even worse now.
Yeah, I definitely remember that.
All right, so once again, let's get back. The delay seems to be a little bit worse, so we'll try and just cut right to the chase. But go ahead and go back to what you were saying. Hopefully we won't cut out. And let us know how this all came to be and how you came to be a part of it.
Well, I wrote my first film, Bloodsucker Jones, back in 2008, and we shot it from 2009 until 2013. And then we released it in 2014 and did festivals, and it's on Blu-ray, and it turned out pretty good. We won some awards, and we had the time of our life making it. So we thought, what's dumber than making an indie movie and spending all your money would be to make a sequel to that same movie. And then we made Bloodsucker Jones versus a Creeping Death, and that came out in 2018. But we did it a lot faster this time. the first one took 5 years to release. The second one took 2 years, 2.5 years. And then we got even better, and we made a sci-fi comedy called post-apocalyptic comedy called Xanadu Hellfire, which we released in 2022. And then for this past year, we've been working on an anthology called Party of Darkness, me and like 6 or 7 of my good filmmaking friends. And then from that movie, one of the shorts I made, we decided to turn it into a feature called Blue Murder, about a nurse who embodies the spirit of a serial killer on Halloween and goes out and kills a lot of people who deserve it on Halloween night.
Very cool.
And we're halfway done filming with that. A little over
so you have already begun filming then?
Yeah, we do have. If people want to see a trailer, we have an Indiegogo. It's if you just go to blue_murder_movie on Instagram, you can just click the link in our bio, and you'll find it. But that's where you can see the trailer.
No, very cool. So what is the timeline there? Because you said you're halfway done with filming. When do you plan to wrap this? How are things going with the filming? And when do you and what's going to be the next step once filming is complete?
Things are going awesome. We switched to filming all nights now because it takes place on Halloween. So we got everything we could do indoors out of the way. We got some night stuff out of the way, but now almost everything we're doing is night, or we're faking that it's night. So we're going to be working a lot of late nights with kids and, props and blood and gore and, and no permits whatsoever. And it should be a good time. Then we should hopefully get it submitted to festivals starting in March, because we're editing as we go. And it's already, we're more than halfway done, and everything's been edited already. A lot of the music's been added. Still needs to be colored, but the opening credits are there. We're going to start on the end credits soon. So, yeah, as soon as we're done, we want to be pretty much done with the film completely. And it should be done in January. We have 5 more days to shoot. 4 we'll shoot in November and probably 1 in January.
Okay. So you said you're working with kids. Have you worked with kids before?
You cut out, but I think you asked if I work with kids before.
Yes, you said you were working with kids. Have you worked with kids before? Because they can. I love kids, trust me, but they can definitely be a trying experience on set.
Yeah, we've worked with kids in every movie we've made. So we have a test usually. What we do is when we hire kids, we put in like the lines, even if there's not cussing, we put that there's going to be an ample amount of cussing with the kids, and we'll put cussing in the lines too, and in the sides, so when they audition, they're cussing. And then the parents are cool. If the parents are let their kid cuss, send us a video of them cussing. They're pretty easygoing. The kids are pretty fun, and we've been super lucky. We've probably only had 1 or 2 minor things happen with kids where it's just a little bit of a struggle, but other than that, they've been like amazing. They've just been like one of the best things about making movies. And in our last movie, we had 2, oh gosh, I don't know how old they were, like 10, I think they were 10 years old, 2 10-year-old girls, in a post-apocalypse, and they were cussing, and it was amazing, and they had so much fun, and yeah.
Well, cool. I did a little short
experience
film
of my life for sure.
Oh, that's cool. I did a short film called The Book of Nightmares, and we had several small children. And when you work with small children, you of course have their parents there as well. So, and sometimes it's really hard to keep the kids' attention going on when you have certain scenes. We even had one of our producers that was in the hallway doing jumping jacks with the kids to try and expend some of that energy out of them and stuff like that. But it was just great working with them because you could, I mean, everything was new to them, and it was just wonderful seeing it. So, but it was, I definitely wish you well.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. I know.
We worked with animals, kids, adults,
Oh, wow. Okay. I've got some pictures here. What I'm going to do, since we have this delay, what I'm going to do is I'll pull a picture up. I'll let you wait till you see it. Then you give us a little idea of how this, either whether it's a still or if this part of the movie, how it fits into the movie, or if it's a background scene. Just kind of give us the gist. Once I hear you give the explanation, I'll bring the next picture up and wait for you. Okay?
Sure.
Yep. There's the first one. Who's in the picture?
So this is our killer nurse. This is Jewel Bressler. So this is her first starring role in a film, and she was in our anthology Party of Darkness. She was so awesome, we just had to make a movie with her, and we really liked the character. And this is her slowly being taken over by the mind of a serial killer before she heads out of the hospital onto the street, causing havoc everywhere. This is Bonnie Jean Tyre. This is another still from the film. She's the original serial killer, and it's her, basically her soul that goes into our lead character. And the lead character's name is Blue. That's why it's called Blue Murder. And her nickname is Blue because she always eats blueberry lollipops and her tongue is always blue. That's where the Blue Murder came from. And I like the band Blue Murder from the 80s, so I love that title. This is another still. This is Brooke Heatley and John J. Jones, doctor and nurse in the same hospital, friends of Blue.
Is that John J. Jones?
It's a horror comedy, so there's...
Is that John J. Jones as in Bloodsucker Jones?
No. This is a whole nother Jones.
I had to take a stab.
Sure. This is another still. This is a cop who brought in the serial killer and is investigating it throughout the movie. Actor's name is Ben Scatone. He's basically like an improv genius, UCB guy, and he's been so hilarious. We just keep adding things in every scene he's in. So we look forward to working with him some more for sure. Yeah, this is Bonnie and Jewel. Not getting along very well. And this is on Halloween night, and this is right before an incident, which I won't divulge, that causes the soul to go from one person to another.
Very cool. All right. So you said that these films are not necessarily related. They're not necessarily like sequels or spin-offs or whatever it is of the other ones that you mentioned before. So if that's the case, let us know a little bit about, were you the writer also of this film? And if so, where did the inspiration for this particular film come from?
Well, all of so what we do, we call it our universe the Suckaverse, like Bloodsucker Jones. It's because Bloodsucker Jones is in every movie in some fashion or another. In one movie, he's the hero. In the next movie, he's retired and he owns a restaurant. And in the next one, he works at a crappy diner or something. And for Blue Murder, the inspiration was just, I directed one of the shorts in our anthology Party of Darkness. And in that short, we have a serial killer nurse, but there's no explanation. It's just it's part of a short story that doesn't get completed. And when we were on set, she just looked so iconic. We were shooting a shot of her coming downstairs in slow motion, and we thought, wow, we gotta find out why this happened, and we could make a movie out of this. So, just inspired by her, and she was so awesome, and we liked her so much, we just thought we got to make a movie with her. And so she appears in Blue Murder in a couple scenes, and then I just fleshed out the backstory in 3 weeks, and then we cast the movie, and then it just got bigger and bigger. It's like 57 speaking parts, and
Wow.
shot in like 8 different cities, and yeah, it's just getting out of control.
I would think so. Yeah. Wow. 57 speaking parts, 8 different cities. And you said you're halfway done, right?
Yeah, at least I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, a little more than halfway done. So we're trying to shoot it in, I think, 11 or 12 days, and I think we're 6 days in. We have 5 days to go.
As you see in the comment there from Lance, the obscure movie guy, he does film and trailer reviews. So if you want a trailer review, he knows a guy. In other words, himself. Yes.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Yeah. Love a good trailer reaction.
All right, good.
Send me a message on Instagram. Yeah.
There you go, Lance. Hit him up and let us know, because we'd like to add it to our socials as well. All right, so once filming is complete, well, first off, you said you're halfway done, so I'm assuming you're taking some kind of a hiatus now to kind of get everything in order. When does filming start back up again? When do you plan on finishing it? And what's the immediate plans for it once it's done?
So we filmed about 10 days ago. We filmed one day, and then we shoot again a week from this weekend, in November 9th and 10th, and then November 23rd and 24th we film. So we'll be going to different houses, different neighborhoods, out in the desert. We have dream sequences, and then once we're done with those 4 days in November, we'll have 1 day left, but we don't know when we can schedule it yet, just because it's coming near the holidays, and some people are available and some people aren't. So we'll probably shoot it in January, along with any pickups if we need any pickup shots. But it should be, roughly completed by the end of January. It should be all edited, and it'll need polishing, sound, and special effects and things like that. And then it'll go on to festivals. And we have Blu-rays. We'll release a Blu-ray only for our Indiegogo people until we're done with festivals. So if people want a Blu-ray, want to see it early, they can just go to the Indiegogo, or just go to our Instagram, to the Indiegogo.
Okay. So you're saying that basically the plan is to have it completed sometime in January, and then from there you've got effects, pickups, whatever it is that you have done. I'm just throwing this out there, but we have our Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest, which actually takes place at MegaCon, which I mentioned, and that takes place the first weekend of February. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be conducive to your time frame, but if it is, and you start getting closer, and you feel it is,
Wow.
Then maybe we can work something out and be able to premiere it over there. We'd love to have you guys out there and do a nice big premiere panel, whatever you guys want to do.
If we can't get it done, we are in festivals right now with Party of Darkness, which is completed, and that's a bigger movie. That's the most expensive movie any of us have ever made, and like Sean Whalen is in it, Robert Mukes, Alyssa Rose, Glenn Plummer, and that's completed and actually doing festivals. So.
Well, we have our deadline for the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest for submissions is actually Halloween night, which is tomorrow. So, if you want to go ahead and submit it over there, we'd love to take a look at that. And then if things work out with Blue Murder, then we can kind of figure something out there and maybe showcase it if possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have a message there about perhaps I missed any locations of filming from Dean. Where's it filming?
Oh, it's all filming in Southern California. So Los Angeles, Orange County, The Inland Empire out in the desert. Yeah, just all within the Southern California vicinity, where all our movies are have taken place and been
And I
shot.
don't know, and I don't know if you know who this guy is.
I know this guy. This guy's a legend with us. He's our most generous backer now, like friend, and he connected me with you guys, and he's supported us. He grabs all the cool perks, and he's a producer, and yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I met him. Well, not really met him physically,
Lewis,
but through Facebook. Lewis,
how's it going?
Lewis, I met him through my partner Amy. So we've chatted a few times on Facebook, and he's gotten some of the copies of the magazines as well. He's a huge supporter.
Yes,
of Amy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Amy's really cool too.
She is.
Talked to Amy back and forth in the emails quite a bit.
Yeah. Amy's a sweetheart. She's not with us today because she just got done filming another film. So hopefully she'll be back with us next week. But yeah, I love her to death. She helps me with everything when it comes to Indie Horror Junkie. And she's the one that put me in touch with you guys. And we got the whole spread going for you. So, all right. So with this film, I don't want you to give away too much when it comes to the plot. And obviously you have a couple things. I'm really curious to see how Bloodsucker Jones fits into this one. But can you let us know, is there planning, without giving anything away, is there going to be a follow-up to this film, or are you just going to go to do something else in the Suckerverse and kind of tie it in that way, or is there going to be some kind of a direct sequel or prequel or something along their lines once this is all said and done?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if people really, really like this, we would make a sequel. It's kind of, it's set up where there could be a sequel. It's got a really cool ending that I won't give away. And yeah, it's set up so if we wanted to make a sequel, we will make a sequel. Everybody wants sequels to all our movies, so we'd never know what to make next. And and we have other movies. We might make a heartwarming like a roller skating comedy next that takes place at a roller rink with a mother and daughter and a bunch of wacky crew of people, kind of like Clerks, So might do that, and then yeah, it all depends how successful it is and how people take to it. Hopefully, we're going to get out there and go to more conventions and spread the word. That's how we've grown, and that's how the character Bloodsucker Jones has grown, is just through meeting people and making, we say we make friends, not fans, because now we have friends all over the United States from going to festivals and going to conventions, being on podcasts, meeting people like you and Amy, Lewis, and it's just grown into this massive amount of just awesome people surrounding us, which is cool.
Yeah, that to me, that's one of the biggest takeaways of being a filmmaker is just being able to have the opportunity to work with new people and create new friendships, and you never know what some of these new people are going to bring to the table, and whether it be behind the camera or marketing wise or anything like that. So just adding to the film family is what I call it, is just something that I really enjoy the most, because I've met so many people and worked with so many people. Speaking of that, though, with this particular crew, I know you said you had a couple of characters that have been in other films that are in this one as well. But do you guys pretty much use the same crew for every single one of these films, or are you kind of sprinkling in new people here and there, or is it pretty much all new each film?
Well, we have going forward, we probably have a good core that we'll be using, which you've used on the last couple of films, and they're all other filmmakers. Like, our crew is all directors. But they're director, makeup artist, director, DPs. So yeah, one of my great friends, Randy Van Dyke, who's the main director of Party of Darkness, and he's always our DP. And we have a great makeup artist, Alexis Powell, and she directed a segment inside of A Party of Darkness, and she and her boyfriend Matt Festel They just directed a movie called Isling Pines, and yeah, our first AC, Matt Leal, he's a director, and he's directed a couple movies, Shadow Marsh, and he directed in Party of Darkness. So that core, like the key people, will probably stay the same. And Andy Cobble, who's a producer, who just does everything. He's like one of my best friends in the world, and known him for forever and ever. And he's all. But the rest of the crew is just filled out by. A lot of times it's filled out by students, and then those students eventually graduate and get better paying jobs, or ones that pay, and we never see them again. But so we have partially keep partial crew, and then have new crew. It's just like the cast. Half the cast, a third of the cast we might know already, and 2/3 are just brand new people, and it's awesome. I just love meeting new people, and then I love seeing those awesome people that you always loved from the previous movie back again. Sometimes playing new characters, sometimes playing the same character. It's all interconnected in such a crazy way.
That's really cool. Now, how do you do? Because obviously this is Indie Horror Junkie, so we have a lot of independent horror filmmakers that watch this and listen in and chime in and stuff. So we like to try and get into the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. But what about casting? Do you guys pretty much, a lot of people do open casting calls where they put out casting calls on Facebook or through the different channels for casting, or some of them just do it very under the radar, just going to people that they've known and seen in certain parts and fill out the roles that way, kind of under the table, and maybe just cast some certain smaller roles or whatever it is with an open casting call. How did you guys do the casting for this film? Did you pretty much have people pegged for the roles, or did you open up a call, or how did you do that?
I'd say there's probably maybe 6 or 7 roles which I knew who would play that part, and I wrote it for them, and hopefully they would play that part. And then all the rest are just new people. We put out ads on usually casting networks and backstage, and it's a nightmare though, because for every role you get 250 submit. 80% of them are not fit for the role. If I'm posting for an 11-year-old girl and I get, a 90-year-old black guy wants the role, it's just like, okay, and then, so we get all kinds of people just submitting for the role. And then we always find just a handful of people that are even remotely qualified. And then we always find someone that just blows us away. So it's always just one person. We've almost never had 2 people to choose, going, wow, this is a tough choice. It's never a tough choice. It's always someone that just hits a home run. Yeah. So, and then sometimes recently I had to cast a couple people. Yeah. Cast a couple people, and we'll get references like, hey, I noticed you're casting this person. And then someone will say, hey, my friend, he's an improver. He can do can he submit? And I say yes. And then, hopefully they turn out good when we cast them. So that happens sometimes too.
Oh, very cool. So as a writer-director, who are your inspirations when it comes to this? Do you try to emulate anybody in particular? Do you emulate a couple of different people? Do you, obviously, as a writer-director, you're probably going to have your own style and everything, but there has to be a few people that are your inspirational people in those positions that you try to draw from. Who are your inspirations?
Oh, my favorite director is John Carpenter, but I always feel like I just would sum up our movies as John Hughes meets John Carpenter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but I also, love Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith, and, the first movie I made was made for the exact same amount that Kirk's cost. I never thought I'd be able to make a movie until I saw a guy my same exact age make a movie, and I was determined to make a movie after I saw that. And then, I like a lot of indie people, and I love Michael Mann and Ridley Scott and all that, and I get, that's always really cool. And I used to do extra work, so I got to work on big films I got to work on a movie with Michael Mann and Ron Howard and other people, and that was really cool. And I got to see behind the scenes. And I got to see that I don't ever want people to be yelled at or be angry on a set, which I saw a good amount of shitty bullshit hierarchy from crew guys or DPs or whoever it was that didn't treat people very well. And I vow that no one will ever get mad on our set at anybody ever, or we will never work with that person again.
Yeah. So
luckily we just never fight about anything. We hardly disagree on anything. And it's almost always like, yeah, that's an amazing idea. Let's do it. And if the craft service guy has a good idea, we do that. We come up with that. We do that idea, So people feel invested because, we improv, we always try an idea if we can, if we have time. And they make it their own, and they appreciate that because they're underpaid or not paid. And it's the least we can do is make it fun.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the way I look at it too, because these are all low budget films, so they're not going to get paid what they would get paid to work on a studio film. So we try to make things as comfortable as possible. I'm a big proponent of having a family atmosphere on a set. Sometimes things get a little, tense or whatever it is because you're going against the clock and you're trying to squeeze in as many shots as you can, and you've got your schedule that's pressing and people have to go, and and a lot of issues that get caused due to the fact that you're not in a studio environment and people can't go to their trailer and they're not scheduled and you don't have a closed set, so many little things like that can pop up. So you try to work around it. But I'm with you. I love being on set. I enjoy being on set, working with everybody, and I feel exactly like you do. I mean, I would much rather have a happy set and everybody having a good time, because then for the next movie, they're going to be just beating down the door to come work with you because they're going to say how much fun they had working with you.
Yep, I totally agree. Yeah, it's family,
Exactly. So you mentioned about going out and doing the festival circuits and stuff like that with the previous ones. Do you submit to a lot of, because that's been a question that's been asked to me a lot about submitting to film festivals, because so many people think that there's a lot of bias in some of these film festivals and it's almost throwing money away for some of the local ones because they're just pretty much collecting the entry fees or whatever it is and only picking their friends and stuff like that for the film. So do you go through that? Do you have like a system in place or certain festivals that you submit to, or do you pretty much hit them all? Or how do you work that as far as when your movies are done, as far as the festivals and conventions go?
Well, I mean, we'll always shoot for the moon and the stars and then submit to the big ones like Fantastic Fest and Toronto After Dark and Scream Fest and things like that. And, it's almost every movie in those festivals already has distribution. Yeah. It's hard to get your foot in there, but, we'll cross our fingers and hope it happens someday. But, we always do good in the lower to mid-level festivals because, there's definitely some that only hire their friends or pick their friends or they don't watch the movies or right. Things like that. But the ones that do and really care about it, they really seek you out and they'll send you personal emails that they really liked your film. And so if we've been in a festival before, we'll always try to submit just to support that festival, just to give them the fee at least, just as a thank you, because they were so great to us. So yeah, we've definitely repeated some. We've been in a festival that a friend's been in, and then he's recommended us, and we've gotten into that festival. Every once in a while, a festival might contact you and say, "Hey, do you want to be in the festival? That movie looks awesome," and that's happened. So yeah, but we definitely if I submit to 30 festivals, we're going to get into 7.
Yeah,
And
some of those entry fees can get expensive too.
Oh, it's brutal. We were submitting for Party of Darkness, and some festival was charging like 200 something for.
What?
It was obscene. I wish I knew the name of it because it was just absurd. It was crazy. I mean, it just, I understand, and it's tough because you finish your film and you're like, you try to get it out there under the, and you're just making it under the wire into the final, deadline thing where they probably picked almost every movie already and only have a slot or 2 open, I would guess. But you still try your luck, and we've gotten into some festivals that way too. So,
yeah.
But it's tough waiting for a year to see what a festival says, too.
Yeah, that's
So, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I'm a film festival organizer myself, and I also am a filmmaker, so I submit to festivals. My latest film, The Clock, we've already run the gamut for the most part. We've gotten distribution already. It just started coming out on streaming channels. We just got to put on Prime and Vudu the last day or two. So, but yet I still have two film festivals that it was entered into that I'm not even going to be hearing about or hearing from until later this month and then in November, because it just takes so long sometimes for that process.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you definitely go through the same thing. I want to see The Clock. I saw the trailer for it. It looks really cool.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's on Prime and it's on Vudu right now, so feel free to jump in there. The rent's really cheap. But to get back to the film festivals, as a film festival organizer, I know what you're saying about the politics and stuff like that. We try not to have any of that enter. The way I look at it is that if you put your blood, sweat, and tears and time into making a movie, then it should be considered. So I try to keep the prices down, especially early on, for people to enter. But I can see why some film festivals also have their prices a little bit higher, because if you're going to put $10 entry fees, then you're going to get anybody that picks up a camcorder and films anything, put it in there, and
Definitely.
and that gets to be just too much. It's overwhelming. So you make it a little bit more, so it's more of the serious stuff like that. But it's a wild gamut. What I've been doing lately now is I try to have multiple reviewers, and I have them review, and I have them put notes and select whether the movie's going to get in or not. But I also have them put some constructive feedback. So the films that actually get accepted, even if you don't win or anything like that, you're still going to get feedback from other festival or people or industry people, just to kind of give you some information about what we're seeing when it comes to your film. And that's the stuff I liked and I loved when I used to enter film festivals. So hopefully the filmmakers do as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you sound like our favorite type of festival. Just someone who really cares, someone who really loves finding something, in this pile of movies that gets submitted. And yeah, definitely, you cannot make the entry fee $10, because you'll just get swamped by
Exactly.
somebody's home movies, and just it'll
Been
be
there, done
crazy.
that.
So yes, definitely.
Now, I had somebody here ask, what is it? Anything outside the U.S.? Any kind of foreign festivals that you normally submit to or have given a shot to?
Fright Fest in London, I think,
Okay.
and oh gosh, I think Monster something in Australia. I don't know the name of it. I think it's called Monster Fest, maybe, in Australia. Canada, because for some reason Canada really loves us. Canadians love us, so
Nice.
we tend to put jokes about Canada in our as a callback to all those. Our first festival was in Canada, and those are some of the first people we met, and it was such a great experience. We didn't even go, but they gave us play-by-plays when it was screening and stuff like that. And
Wow.
but yeah, if anybody has a festival, if anybody's watching now and has a festival that they like or want us to submit near them or something, we can, we'll definitely look into that, because we definitely have people like, hey, I'm in Pennsylvania, or we have actors, hey, all my family's in Pennsylvania. Can you submit to a festival there? So we'll try to do that.
That's what makes it tricky too, because I definitely try to submit to some of the film festivals around here, because if it gets accepted, then that means that my casting crew gets to go out there. And to me, that's my biggest payment, is going and seeing my people that have going to see a chance to see their own film and experience that, and get to talk to other people about them being on screen. It's like when I filmed my Velocity Kings just a couple weekends ago, seeing them mingling and taking pictures and talking to everybody about the movie. I mean, as a director, that's what I live for. So I try to do that, but that's where a lot of the politics come in sometimes when you have those local festivals. So I try, like you, I try to hit the main ones that and try to find that happy area of not too expensive, but yet significant festivals where if it does go, it'll do well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, sounds good. So we're getting ready to close up the episode here today. Is there anything in particular you want to let people know? Where can they reach you? Let any particular, whether it's Instagram, let them know now.
Okay. My Instagram is Justin Armao, JustinArmao, and all one word. Or we have a Blue Murder page, which is blue_murder_movie. There's a Blood Sucka Jones page. It's Sucka with a CKA. not an ER. And there's a Xanadu Hellfire page. And yeah, I got way too many pages, but and all of those have links to the Indiegogo, and then you can watch trailers for all of them. But Bloodsucker 2 and Xanadu Hellfire on Blu-ray, special edition Blu-ray with tons of extras. You can get them on Etsy or Amazon. They're also both on Amazon Prime and Tubi for free if you want to check it out. If you really like it, you can get the Blu-ray later. And they're really good. They turned out really awesome. And we got, we got people who said some crazy people out there saying that it's their favorite movie, some of these things. And so it's just like very cool. So I think people like if they like over the top crazy stuff. And yeah, we have a Facebook Bloodsucker Jones movie and a Twitter Bloodsucker Jones. Yeah, if you just Google us, there's like 1,000 pages of Bloodsucker Jones. You'll get sick of us really quick.
You can never have too much because you never know who is going to get.
That's
you.
right.
I'm a little biased because I had your Bloodsucker Jones in my Halloween Horror Picture Show, so I saw it and it was really well done, made me laugh. I really enjoyed that one, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one as well. I've heard so much from Amy about everybody involved and Lewis as well, so you definitely have a friend in India or a junkie, so we'll do everything we can to push you as much as possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks to Lewis. Thanks to Amy. Thanks to, all that you do for the indie world. Like it's 10 times harder getting any coverage of any kind now. We used to get way more coverage, and now we can't even get anybody to talk to us, but it's starting to perk up a little bit again, which is good. And I think we just need to meet new people like you. And, we need to find you just like you need to find us, kind of.
Yeah. Well, you found us now, so we're all good to go. Once again, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll talk more in the future. We can't wait to see your film, and I'll get with you. I'll shoot you a message over on Instagram about the festival because we'd like to see if we can get one or two of the old ones in there, and then if everything works out with Blue Murder, that would be amazing if we can do that as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, and you have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
Take care, Justin.
Bye, everybody.
All right. That was Justin Armeo. And once again, he is the writer and director for this upcoming film called Blue Murder. You're going to be able to read a big article about it in our upcoming issue of Indie Horror Junkie, which will be available on the 13th of November. It is available for pre-sale. So if you want to go to the Indie Horror Junkie website, you can go ahead and order your copy now. And the pre-sales will get out first thing as soon as they come in. So we're going to have a lot of great, it's going to have Stream on the cover. We're going to do a big piece on Stream and several other upcoming films, including Blue Murder. So definitely go to IndieHorrorJunkie.com and order your copy now, and then we'll go from there. All right. One other thing I wanted to mention to you, I kind of briefly spoke about it with him, but I'll go ahead and show you all now. I made a little thing here. Ta-da! The clock, as we just spoke about. We were told that it was going to be up by or before Halloween. Halloween's obviously tomorrow, but we noticed that it came out already on Prime Video and Voodoo Fandango. It came out yesterday and the day before. It should be on Chilling, if not today or tomorrow, and it's already on FlixFling as well. And I'm told that we're going to be expecting to see it on Tubi as well very soon, and a couple other platforms, and they should start falling in line here shortly. So many different ways for you to check it out. You could rent it, you could purchase it, but this is our feature film. We shot it in an actual haunted house in Brooksville, and we're really excited about it. That center picture is our co-host, Amy Rolfson, right there. And I think it was a low-budget film. We had a short period of time to film it, but we had so many great actors, so many great locations. We had an amazing DP and editor, Salo Zayas, who made, you can see some of the pictures there, who really outdid himself with some of the work he did. So we're really proud of it. So definitely, if you get a chance, check it out. And if you do check it out, also make sure you leave a rating for us. Make sure you leave a review, because that definitely helps us see if we're putting stuff out there that you guys like. Plus also it helps the film get picked up by other services and continue on the services they're on. So definitely check it out. It's called The Clock. It's definitely on Prime, Voodoo, and FlixFling. And like I said, it should be on Chilling shortly, and then Tubi shortly thereafter. All right. Well, once again, thank you so much. Sorry about the delays in the audio and the video there. Not quite sure what was going on with the connection, but we're back. And next week, we'll back with another one. So hopefully we'll have Amy with us as well. And then, like I said, we'll have Otis with us shortly thereafter. But if you have a film, Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest, send it our way. We definitely want to check it out. The deadline is actually tomorrow, Halloween night, midnight. It's going to be the final deadline, which I believe is the end of November as well. And then the actual event is in February. Okay? But until then, once again, like I said, can't thank you guys enough for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Definitely hit up Justin on Instagram. And we will see you next Wednesday.